All right. Well, welcome to the workshop, How to Dominate Google for Your Roofing Company. My name is Chris Hunter. I am the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com. I'm also the author of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. So what we're going to talk about today is pretty important. So there's a lot of things that go into getting leads and sales for your business, and we have an entire framework on exactly how to do that called the 4R marketing machine. But what we're going to talk about today is a small portion of it, but it's one of the biggest portions that you can do for your business. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Chris Hunter. Again, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of roofingsites.com. I'm the author of the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. I am a member of the NRCA, RCAT, and HARCA, which is Roofing Contractors Association of Texas, and Houston Area Roofing Contractors Association. I'm a father of three, and I have three super awesome kids. My God has definitely blessed me with three awesome kids. I have an 18-year-old that is in college right now. Yes, I know that makes me seem a little old here. And I have a sophomore in high school and a seventh grader, and they're just wonderful kids. Of course, have a wonderful wife and all that kind of stuff, right? I've been doing search engine optimization since 1998. Now, again, that really, really dates me. I started learning how to rank websites before Google was even really around. Okay. My first website that I ranked was on Yahoo. And when Google came around, I started learning how to do that. Okay. I've been doing website design since 1996, I believe, was the first website that I'd ever built. Way before the .com bubble and all that kind of stuff, right? Well, I started learning how to do all that stuff because I was taking programming classes and I was learning how to do that. And I just found that I really loved building websites. Well, fast forward to around 2001 when I started my business, right, which was a web design business. And first order of business there was to rank my website, right? Beyond building it, of course. We built the website and then I started ranking it. Well, about 6 months later, I was number one on Google for most of my keywords. And so I turned around and I was like, you know what? If I can do this for one website, what is going to keep me from doing it for another website? So I bought another website that was what's called an exact match domain. At the time, I was a web design company, owned a web design company in College Station, Texas. So the natural exact match domain for that would be College Station Web Design. So I bought that, collegestationwebdesign.com, worked for the next 6 months on getting that thing ranked, got it ranked, right? Pushed my competition a little bit further down the page. Guess what? Turned around and did that again and again and again and again until such time as I had driven my entire competition completely off of the first page, right? Now, this was back in the day when there was literally only organic search, right? That was way before Google Ads even was released. That's way before local service ads. That's way before Google Maps, okay? So the way that I started getting more and more leads for my business and completely pushing my competition off of the first page was just simply by doing that, right? I dominated Google. And the result of that was that people would call around and they'd be like, didn't I just talk with you? I'm like, yes, let's build a website. Let's go. Right. And so we did that. And we were all of a sudden getting 20 and 30 web design builds every single month. Right. My competition didn't know what happened to them. So what I'm going to teach you today is a kind of a little bit of that. All right. But what we're going to talk about here is really how to dominate Google nowadays in 2023. Okay. All right. Random fact. I'd love to smoke Texas barbecue. If anyone who knows me, I will talk about how to smoke briskets and pork butts and pretty much anything and everything I've tried to smoke. I've smoked mac and cheese. Love smoked mac and cheese. If you've never had smoked mac and cheese, I highly, highly recommend that. smoke beans. I mean, pretty much anything and everything that I can stick in that smoker while I'm smoking that brisket for that 8 hours or whatever that is, it's going, I'm going to do it. I am on a mission to double the size of 100 roofing companies before 2028. Okay. So if you are a roofing company owner and you're listening to this and you need help with your marketing, I would love to talk with you. All right. Okay. So the problem with the roofing industry right now, there's too many choices, way too many choices, right? Meaning that there are so many roofing companies, at least here in Texas for sure. We're based in Texas. You know, there are no, there's nothing keeping new companies from starting. Okay, they don't have to be licensed truly here in Texas, and so therefore there's a lot of competition here. Okay, the problem with that is that the established roofing companies that have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 years, right? They're not keeping up with how to stay relevant in this market. Okay. And so a few years ago, we went through an exercise and audited, assessed. We learned that you guys don't like that word audit, right? But we did an assessment on 1,000 roofing companies marketing. Okay. And we learned a lot of stuff from that. Okay. What we're going to talk about here is what's working today to help you become the choice versus a choice. Okay. Which is really where you want to be. You want to be the choice and not a choice in your local market, in your service area. You want to be the roofing company that people call and think of when they think, oh, hey, I need a new roof, or do I need a new roof? Or I think I have a leak. Okay. You want to be the first roofing company that comes to mind in your market. Okay. And what we're going to talk about today is really placing yourself in the right place at the right time that people are searching for you. Right. A lot of what I talk about machines a lot. Okay. I talk about things, systems. And in my opinion, all businesses are simply a collection of systems and processes. Right. I call these machines. Your operations has a machine, correct? It has a system. You have a way to put roofs on that is consistent. You have a way to hire people that's consistent, right? Hopefully you do. You have a way of getting paid and paying people consistently. But yet what we see constantly in this market, in this industry, is that you don't have a working machine for your marketing. So I call my system that I've built over the past 20 plus years of being in this industry the 4R marketing machine, because machines work. And by the way, this is a jet. This is the jet that I worked on in the Air Force. If you're looking at this and not listening to this as a podcast, right behind me, I have a little picture of the jet that I worked on that has a whole bunch of signatures from the people that were in, my flight that we worked on these jets. Okay. Loved it. But that's where I figured out I don't want to work on the flight line for my entire life. Okay. So another issue that I see a lot in this industry, in marketing in general, but really, really in the roofing industry, is that most marketing focus on the tactics. Okay. And what I'm going to propose to you is that you have a strategy, build a whole strategy to go out there and dominate your market. Right. And this is true, when you don't know a difference between a marketing strategy and a marketing tactic, most people are like this right here. They're like, oh, hey, can you do SEO for us? Oh yeah, sure. Can you do Google ads for us? Sure. Those are all tactics, by the way. Those aren't strategies. The strategy is to say, I want to be the choice versus a choice. And I'm going to do it by doing X, Y, Z, and so forth. Okay. So let's look at this for our roofing marketing machine. Okay, it is a simple system. It's not simple to implement. Okay, but it's a simple system that will help you get leads on a daily basis. Okay, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. It will help you stay completely omnipresent in your market. And again, to become the choice roofing company versus a choice in your market. Okay. So it's made up of 4 pillars. And I'm not going to get too deep on this because we are here to talk about how to dominate Google. But, for now, the first pillar and the base pillar, your foundation, is your reputation. Okay. We have tried over and over and over with clients that have horrible reputations to drive leads to them and ultimately drive sales. It doesn't work. If you have a horrible reputation or a non-existent reputation in your market, nothing that we do or you will do for marketing is really ever going to work. And it's 100% a waste of money. So fix your reputation first. Oops. Second one is reach, right? Let's get in front of more people today than knew about us yesterday. This is where all those tactics come in, right? This is what most roofing companies focus on, right? And not everything in this pillar, by the way, might work, right? So I call this entire system, this framework, okay, an evergreen system, because you can take things out that stop working and put things in that do work. And a great example of this is when I first went into business in 2001, okay, the yellow pages worked, supposedly, right? I was told by all my friends in the Chamber of Commerce when I first, hung up my shingle and said, hey, I'm starting a business. All of my friends who were in business at that time said, oh yeah, you've got to get a yellow pages ad. Well, I listened to them. I got one for a year, paid, I think it was $500 a month for that ad, right? But I did something that another mentor of mine had told me to do, and I put a tracking number on that ad, meaning that number, I knew exactly how many phone calls I was that I was getting from that ad. Okay. So that, by the way, is a strategy or a tactic that we use still today, but that was very new back then. So I figured out how to do that. I put a phone number there and we tracked exactly how many phone calls that we got out of that ad. And guess what? After a year, we had 0 phone calls from the yellow pages, 0. So when that advertising guy came back, right, the sales guy came back for the yellow pages, I was like, no way. I'll take the free ad, sure, but I'm not going to pay any money for that. Okay. That thing, by the way, the yellow pages was replaced by this $1,000 machine sitting in your pocket, right? And Google. So Google is now the biggest driver that's in this reach pillar. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Next pillar, resell. You're 8 times more likely to sell to somebody that has purchased from you before, but yet when I talk to roofer after roofer after roofer, I ask them, do they do a monthly newsletter? Do you do nurturing, lead nurturing to the people that are coming into your funnel? Do you do a database reactivation, which is basically an upsell campaign or a cross-sell campaign periodically? The answers that I get back on a daily basis, and I meet with 4 to 5 roofing companies every single day, is no, I sure don't. Why not? You're 8 times more likely to make that sell. So if you have gutters, right, as part of your services, or you have windows or siding or doors or solar, and you've worked with, let's say, 1,000 people, why are you not staying in top of mind with them? Okay. Why are you not reaching back up to them and dipping back into that well? Okay. The next pillar is referral. Most businesses are built off of referrals, but the problem is that the larger that you get, the harder that it actually is to get referrals into your business. And that's because the salespeople don't know what your referral program is. You might not know what your referral program truly is because it's different every time, right? It's not on your website. It's not in your newsletter because you're probably not doing a newsletter, right? A monthly newsletter. It's not on your social media. It's not, nobody knows about this referral program. Okay. So what we say is that if you formalize your referral program and you put it on your website, you put it in your newsletter, you do it in your social media, you send campaigns out periodically, then you have a system. Okay. Anyways, okay. So this entire thing is the entire system, right? And it's a framework. Again, it's very simple because it's got 4 pillars, and you just have to get something right in all 4 of those pillars to have a complete working machine for your business, working marketing machine. Okay. Everybody with me so far? Give me some ones. We're going to wait for questions until the very end here, if possible. I'm trying to get through this as quickly as I can. There's a lot of information to go over here today. So the biggest question that I always get is why Google? Well, we all kind of know why, right? It has the highest buyer intent of anywhere out there. Facebook doesn't match that. Instagram doesn't match that. No other channel online matches the buyer intent. And that's simply because Google is where people go right now, currently, to find you, to find your services. They go to Google. That might change in the future. And if it does, according to this framework, we're going to take that out and we're going to replace it with something that does. So for instance, if AI takes over Google, which, by the way, Google is heavily invested into AI, artificial intelligence right now. Okay. But if that replaces Google, let's say Siri replaces Google, right? It actually gets smart enough to answer your questions. Well, then guess what? We're going to start figuring out how to do that. But for right now, currently in 2023, Google has the highest buyer intent of any channel out there. So it makes sense for us to focus on that, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Give me one. One. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So next, where's the results? All right. So I'm going to show you a few results here. Okay. This is something that we took a screenshot of this morning. This is one of our clients, right? They have 3,000. If you look over on the right, it says 3,149 first page results. Okay. Over on the left, first place of 2,111. These are actual when all the different searches, all the different keywords, if you will, right? This is where they rank. Next one, 2,693 first pages and 1,748 first place placements, right? Pretty good. 2,537 on this one. And on the first page and first place is 1,561. This one is 1,294, first place, 985. Okay. So as you can see, we kind of know what we're doing. We get our clients ranked on Google. Okay. We've been doing this since, like I said, early 2000s, really way before that. Right. But we've got a system to do that. Okay. To get ranked on Google. Okay. So how do you dominate Google, right? We talked about that. And I talked about in the early 2000s, how I did that and beat my competition. There's a few more places now to do that in. Okay. First place that we are seeing a lot of phone calls coming from right now. Right. And I believe where Google is really focusing on is local service ads. These are the Google guaranteed ads, right? These are at the very top of the page. And we are seeing a lot of phone calls currently right now for our clients coming in through local service ads. Okay. And their quality. So what is a local service ad? So it's basically like Home Advisor or Angie's. It's a pay per lead situation, right? You're going to pay anywhere in between $50 to $100, depending on how, competitive that your market is. Local service ads, if you don't have those things running, you need them running now. Google ads, that's the second spot on Google, on any search engine result page. If you do a search, and what I'm talking about here is when you do a search for roofing company in whatever area that you're in. For us, it's College Station, Texas. So if I do a search for, roofing company in College Station, Texas, there's going to be 4 spots. So local service ads, Google ads, everyone knows what Google ads are. Okay. Hopefully you understand what that is. It's the first couple of spots underneath, the local service ads now, those that say ads on them. They've gotten trickier over the years, and they used to be red. So you understood it was an ad. Now it's kind of blended in to the normal search results, because guess what? Google wants you to click on those things, right? And in the past, they've only gotten like maybe a 1% click-through rate, maybe a 3% if you're really killing it. Okay. But, everyone understands. Hopefully you understand what a Google ad is. Okay. The next spot is Google Maps, is that what we in the industry call the 3-pack, right? Google, it used to be the 6-pack, by the way, right? 10 years ago, it was the Google six pack, and it was over on the right-hand side of the page of the search engine result page when you're looking at it on your laptop or desktop, right? Google Maps drives a lot of business. So we do focus quite a bit on that with our clients. And we do see a lot of phone calls coming from Google Maps if you do it right. And we're going to talk about all of these here in a second. Okay. But the next spot is organic. This is what traditionally most people understand, that when you rank on Google, that's where you rank. So this, by the way, has the highest click-through rates out of anything. Okay, is organic. And between organic and maps, so it used to be, 98% of the clicks came from organic. Okay. Now it's kind of split up in between maps and organic. So, and in my mind, you have to work on both of those at the same time because they both rely on each other. Okay. Especially with the roofing industry. Okay. So this is, I took a screenshot of, a roofing company, what I searched on inside of Google. If you see these results are for Houston. And so I just wanted to illustrate here really what the main area is here. Okay. The top two areas are local service ads. The next area down is Google ads. Okay. The next one on this page, and I had to take a couple screenshots because, my screen wouldn't fit that. So the second screenshot here is the maps area. It's what everyone understands. It's a 3-pack, right? It shows, where you're located. It shows how many years you've been in business. It shows your reviews. It shows your phone number, your website, directions to your office, all those kinds of things. Okay. Organic is the next area down. And this is what traditionally, people have known as when you say rank on Google, this is typically the area, in the past that we would focus on. Okay. But we focus on both maps and organic area now. The trick to dominating Google, in my opinion, is to have placements in all 4 of the spots. When people go and search and they see your name in all 4 of these spots, you have way more of a chance for them to actually call you or go to your website and fill out a form. Okay. Which is exactly what we want to happen. All right. Let's take a second here and talk about each of those individual services. Okay. Local service ads, right? In the screenshot, you're going to see, I just basically broke it up. This right now is a little bit different than what it's been even in the past 6 months. In the past 6 months, I've seen this change from 3 spots as a horizontal kind of placement to now this is 2 ads here that are vertical. Okay, they're constantly messing around with their search engine results page. So this might change if you're watching this a year or 2 from now, like 2025. Most likely it's going to change. Google is a moving target. They change 600 plus times a year. They're constantly testing what's going to get them more money. Okay. So what's going to get them more money right now is by only having 2 ads, because then people will pay more for those placements. Okay. Okay. So how do you get listed here? Well, the first thing is you got to set up and verify your account. Okay. You got to go through the Google steps of, show them your DBA, your license, and go through their verification process to ensure that you are a reputable company. Okay. So it's called Google Guaranteed because they will guarantee, I think it's up to $1,000. Is that right, Ross? Okay. Yeah. Thumbs up. You're muted. It's cool. So I think it's up to $1,000 that they will pay the person that comes to, that listing, right? That goes to that website as a user, right? Whatever, as a customer. All right. They are going to pay up to $1,000 if you mess that up, right? So they are guaranteeing your workmanship, okay, and guaranteeing that you're going to not mess things up, right? Next, max out your budget, right? This is one of the things that we see as we look at local service ads, that if they are not working correctly, is that if they're not working for you, it's most likely the very first spot is because you are just simply don't have your budget maxed out. right? So max out that budget, meaning that it there's when you're in their interface and you're trying to figure out budget, it tells you, okay, the bottom little click check mark there is like maybe $1,000 a week or maybe $350 a week. Max that thing out, right? Do the maximum that it shows. It doesn't mean that you're going to actually spend that. That's just what you're telling Google that you're willing to spend just in case. Okay. So, we've helped clients out with these things, and it's essentially, if you put $1,500 there, most likely you might spend maybe $500. Okay. So go ahead and max out that budget. Next thing that I see is limit your service area, and also, and I didn't put this on this slide, but limit your service area and your services for those ads. Okay. Don't put things in there that you don't want. Okay. So like if you're a roofing contractor, you're going to want roofing, roof repair, those types of keywords, right? That people search for. You don't want general contracting. Okay. Because then you're going to start getting leads in for things that you don't really want to focus on. Okay. So take that completely out of those services. The other thing is limit your service area. I have a client that he was having a hard time because he was getting a lot of inquiries. But the problem was that he would go out there and those people could not afford his services. Okay. So what we pinpointed and what we narrowed down there is that he was focusing, right? He had put zip codes in there for areas that couldn't afford his services. One of the things that I'm going to talk about here in this entire thing, right, in this workshop, and I'm going to say it over and over again, is target the areas that your ideal customer is in. Okay. Target those areas that your ideal customer is in. What I mean by that is that if you've got an area that are larger homes, most likely they're going to be able to afford your services. They're going to be able to afford a new roof, right? So great, for instance, of that is here in College Station, Texas. Okay. Where we've got, better areas than others. I live in the south of town here, which is a better quote unquote neighborhood, bigger homes, right? More expensive homes. That's 77845, right? As an area code. 77840 are mainly college student areas. Texas A&M University is here. If someone is calling from that area, right, then you're most likely not going to be able to get the decision maker that's going to be able to replace that roof. Okay. So why even focus on 77840? So that's my point, is that figure out and know exactly where your ideal customer is and pinpoint all of your energy on that area. The last thing that we see with local service ads are you've got to work their system. Google has built this wonderful, simple to use system, and they are rewarding those companies that are using it. Okay. So if a lead comes in, make sure you go in there and mark it as booked. If you don't do that and you let it go a week to a month or never, they're going to put you further down the list. And it makes sense because they want people who are working their system. So why not work it? Why not go in there and make sure that you are checking the boxes, that you are making sure that everything is working, and that you're reporting back, you're giving a feedback loop back to Google that hey, this was a booked call. Okay. And yes, I'm going to pay for it. Right. And again, that's anywhere between $50 to $100 that you're going to pay per lead that you get from Google on that. Okay. Everyone with me? Type of 1 in the chat if you're still with me and you understand local service ads are super, super important. All right. One. Cool. Okay. So next area on Google is Google Ads, right? That's the next area that we need to work on. I see a lot of mistakes with Google Ads, a lot of mistakes. Okay. The number one that I see is, hang on, get back here. Limit your service area. Limit that area. What I just talked about with those local service ads, do that also with your Google Ads. Use a Sniper, I'm going to use, military speak since I was in the military, all that kind of stuff. Be a sniper versus using a shotgun. Okay. We don't want to use a shotgun approach. We want to use a sniper approach. Target those areas that your ideal customer is in. Okay. Number 2, use exact match keywords. So there's a couple of different ways that you can put your keywords in, right? So if I just type in roofing company in there, that's known as broad match. Broad match can bring up roofing supplier. If someone, types in roofing supplies in there, just because it matched roofing, it might and so people will be calling you to buy shingles. Is that what you want? No, right? You want people that are calling you, and you're going to spend your money on people that are wanting your services, that want to replace their roof. Okay. So use exact match keywords. How do you do that? You do it in quotes. All right. For exact match. And what's the other term there, Ross? What is that called with the brackets?
Broad match.
Broad match. No, without broad match is without any quotes, without the brackets. What's the ones in the brackets? I slipped my mind now. I'm gonna have to think about that later. But either way, you want them in quotes. Okay, that's exact match, keyword match there. Okay. The next, mobile, right? If this $1,000 machine that is sitting in everyone's pocket is where people go to do their research, why are you not targeting that right there? Why are you targeting desktop? Desktop for y'all is not where people are doing their research and finding roofing companies. Okay. That's where your competition is trying to click you out. That's where spammers are going with their software to call you and, phrase match. Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it. But
yeah, I was like, it has to be something. Wait, phrase match.
yeah,
That's right. It just came to me.
Just so y'all know, Ross is my operations manager. Right. So, all right. So this $1,000 machine is sitting in everybody's pocket. What do you think that they're doing when they're sitting at the doctor's office? What do you think that they're doing when they're at a restaurant? What do you think that they are doing? And I've seen this and it's horrible. What do you think that they're doing in traffic? They're sitting on this $1,000 machine right here, this iPhone, this Android, right? And they are researching you. They're researching who to call because they have a problem that needs to be fixed. So why not target this? So I say do mobile only ads, only target mobile, right? So what that means is that your competition has less likely of a chance to actually click you out of your budget. Okay. So if you've got, I don't know, $100 a day budget and each of those clicks are costing you $20, 5 clicks gets you out of the competition. Right. So why give them that shot? We see a lot more calls coming in through mobile only ads. Okay. Last, adjust daily. Look at that ad account every single day. Add what's called negative keywords in there. Add actual keywords that people are searching on that make sense. Okay. And there's ways to do that. There's ways. Don't do what Google says to do, right? Don't say, auto do whatever, Google says to do. Don't stay away from those, right? Do things manually, add negative keywords. So a negative keyword is when someone searches for roofing shingles and you don't want that. Then you put that in as an exact match. Say, I do not want that keyword. Okay. But if they are searching for a roofing company, you want to be there, right? So add those. Also look at your budget on a daily basis, right? So look at things on regularly inside of your account. Don't let things get out of hand, right? It could easily do that. And that's where a lot of people say, oh, Google ads didn't work for me. Well, it's most likely because they tried to set and forget it. Okay. And you can't do that with Google ads. You have to constantly be touching those things on a daily basis. Our ad specialists do that every single day for every single one of our clients. They add negative keywords, they adjust the bids, they turn keywords off, and if you've already hit your daily budget, might as well turn those ads off. Don't let Google charge you anymore. Okay. If you've already gotten your quota of what you need for the calls for the day, turn it off, right? Not a big deal. So everybody with me on Google ads, give me one in the chat here. All right. Got one. Cool. Okay. let's talk about the maps area, the 3-pack. So this is where we also see a lot of phone calls from, right? This is one of the most trusted areas right now on Google, and that's simply because your reviews are shown right there. Okay. So remember when I said in earlier in the marketing system that we have, right? Our marketing machine, the very basis, the very foundation of all of your marketing is your reputation. And that's because of this right here. Now, going back to the local service ads, they also show your reputation there. They show your reviews right front and center that people could see. So if you look at this result page, right, you see there's one with 71, there's one with 111, there's one with 49. Which do you think is going to get the most calls? I'm most likely going to go with the 111, right? Monarch Roofing, Houston. I'm probably going to call them if I'm a consumer because they have the most amount of reviews and it's pretty high. 4.7. That's pretty good. Okay. So Google Maps, right, is very, very powerful. Problem is there's only 3 spots. So if you are competing with 1,000 other roofing companies like you are if you're in Dallas, more than that, actually. I think the latest numbers that I heard at the RCAT conference was closer to 5,000 roofing companies up in Dallas, DFW area, right? You're competing against all of those for 3 spots. It is completely king of the hill. Okay. Google Maps, ranking on Google Maps is very proximity based, right? Meaning that if someone searches from a specific neighborhood, the first company that's going to most likely come up is the one that is closest to them, right? So if you are running your business and you want to get more leads from a very specific neighborhood, one that is very affluent, right? Again, going back to that ideal customer base, right? If you have a neighborhood that is that, I say spend $1,000 a month and go get an office that's closest to that neighborhood. Set it up, verify it in Google Maps, and call it done. Okay. Because you're going to have more of a chance to get a lead, get a phone call, get a click into your website if you're closer to that neighborhood, right? You've got to do it with a real office. You can't do it with a virtual office. Google knows what those virtual offices are. And so these days you have to get a specific commercial address. It shouldn't be a house. Google knows what's residential and what's commercial these days. Get something commercial, find something that's close to that neighborhood, right? Or subdivision or city. Okay. So if you're in the Austin area and let's say that you're in Round Rock and you want to get more leads in from Georgetown, right? Just up the road, I'd get an office there based in Georgetown, right there, right next to the most affluent neighborhood. Okay. The next thing that goes into ranking on Google Maps is reviews. Makes sense, right? I mean, if Google is showing your reviews right then and there, they're going to present in that 3-pack the roofing companies, the roofers with the best reputation, right? So a few things go into this. It's one, not just the amount of reviews that you get, but the velocity of reviews that you get, as well as how good that those reviews are. Okay. So make sure that with every single job that you do, that you are asking for a review. With our clients, the way that we do that is that we have a software in place that when they close out a job, our system then will email that customer 3 times and text message that customer 3 times, just kind of like your doctor's office does, right? So it asks them, hey, how did we do? And instead of saying, hey, leave us a review, that's a different conversation there. More people are more likely to let you know how you did versus actually leave a review. So, but it'll take them to your Google review page, and guess what? Click 5 stars, all that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what you want. Okay. All right. The next is eat. All right. What does that mean? Right. So Google has this formula. right? It's EEAT, and it stands for experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. Experience, what that means is basically how does the experience happen on your website? Okay. And by the way, this formula works for both Google Maps as well as Google Organic. Okay. So experience is does your website load fast? Do people bounce off of your website right away because they don't trust you, right? Um, do they actually interact on that website? Do they go to another page? Do they click on your form? Do they fill the form out? Google knows all these things, right? They know. And so therefore you want to make sure that people are having a good experience on your website. The next E is expertise. These are, to me, this is your pillar content, is what is known in our industry. This is your landing page that matches up with the search that people are searching for. Okay. So roofing company in College Station, Texas, roofing contractor in College Station, Texas. Those are two different pages, right, that we need to have on our website to, and then it has to have enough text, which is what Google consumes on that page. It has to show your authority. Okay. It has to be trustworthy, right? So that's what the other two things: expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. All right. We're going to get a little bit more into that here in a little bit for the organic area. I don't want to get too caught up with that, but in the maps area, but those are the four main things that we see that help drive rankings on that. Okay. The next area that we want to dominate on Google in is organic SEO. Again, the EAT is very applicable to organic. Okay. Expertise, experience, expertise, authority, and trustworthiness. All right. We want to make sure that we present all of those things throughout your entire website. We do the experience through landing pages, like I talked about before, right? Is that we show our experience there. Authority is, or actually trustworthiness, is given through backlinks, right? It shows the trust that other websites have in you. What we'd like to do is make sure that your NRCA link matches up on your directory listing, matches up exactly with what your website is. So if it's https www.aaaroofing.com, then that's exactly what that link is pointing back to. Okay. We match that up with any single and every single directory listing that is on the internet for first and foremost. Okay. Because those backlinks are super, super important. These are the Better Business Bureau. These are your Chamber of Commerce. This is your local contractors associations. This is the national contractors associations. This is any links that are coming back to your website. We want to match them up exactly all the same. And that provides trustworthiness. Okay. The last thing, I call it spider food. These are blogs. Okay. These are articles that we write for our clients that provide spider food to the search engine spiders. What do those search engine spiders consume, right? Text. So we give them text and images and videos and all sorts of other things that go into that, but we make sure that we are talking about things that are topically similar to those landing pages. Okay? So, and then we link from that spider food into those landing pages to provide that authority for those landing pages. This might be going over your head. That's okay, right? I have done and I will do another whole workshop just on this principle right here. Okay. But I'm going to show it to you graphically here. This is exactly our recipe on how to rank. Starts with your website. You add landing pages and then add articles that link to those landing pages. As you add the articles, then you share them out on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and Google Business Profile, right? As soon as you possibly can to get the spiders to your website. That's what that spider food is for. Okay. Now, if you notice over here on the power links, these are typically directory links, right? These also might be links that we get from syndicating your content out to news sources. There's, news places are extremely hungry for content nowadays. So with our clients, We share those blogs, we share those articles, we write articles, right, and share those out on news websites to get our power links coming back to the website. Okay. Now, if you notice over here on the bottom, it says branded links. These are links that are typically all of those directory links. They're going to go to the main page of your website. Notice the power links go to landing pages because those are super powerful and we want those pages to rank above anything else. Your normal website link, right, from your NRCA listing, from your RCAT listing, wherever, right, needs to go to your website. Your main page of your website is what I'm referring to there. Okay, so those are the 4 areas, right, that we want to rank on, that we, in order to dominate Google. All right, and this is all part of our 4R roofing marketing machine. This is literally just in the reach pillars, what we were discussing today. Okay. So those steps: 1, set up your local service ads. Number 2, set up Google ads. And I say set up mobile only ads. Number 3, get ranked in maps. Number 4, get ranked in organic. If you take up all 4 of those spots, right, those are the main 4 spots on Google, you will get more leads and sales into your business today simply because you will be placed in the right place at the right time that people are searching for you and your services. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, this is it. If you stayed here till the end, you get a free book. You get one of these things right here. I'm giving these away to anyone who shows up to my workshops, to anyone who is in the same, association that we are in, the NRCA, RCAT, or HARCA. So just simply scan this or go to go.roofingsites.com, fill out your information, and I'll send you a free book. This is our exact blueprint of everything that we do for us and our clients right here in the Ultimate Guide to Digital Marketing for Roofers. So go ahead and fill out that information and get that free book, and you will have exactly in your hands how to do all this stuff. Okay. Questions? Any questions from anyone? I'll open it up real quick. Feel free to unmute yourself if you got any of those questions for me.
The one that I always like to know is, how do we get started on this? It seems like it could be a lot for a lot of people who are just, say I'm a roofer, I'm on the roof
Yeah.
all the time, I don't have time for any of this. How do we get going on this?
Well, the
What's the
very
best
first and
start?
top thing, the very first and top thing that I would do if I were a roofer and I didn't have someone in my back pocket like us, right? Obviously, you can hire us. You can go to our website, in the upper right-hand corner, go to roofingsites.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a schedule a call button. Go ahead and click that, fill out your information. We can set up a time to meet and discuss how to go over all this stuff, obviously. But if you don't have the resources to do that just yet, right? My biggest recommendation: set up those local service ads. Set those things up. Start with a smaller budget, $100 per week, $200 per week, right? And start moving upwards from there as it starts working, right? I have someone that's in my mastermind group that I'm running for roofers that literally that's all he's doing. And he told me last week that he's going to have to turn those things off or because he's got more work than what he knows to do with. Okay. So, set up those local service ads as soon as you possibly can. Google is placing way more importance on those things than anything else at this point in time. So might as well jump on the bandwagon, start beating your competition, because most likely they do not have LSAs, local service ads, Google guaranteed ads set up. Okay. So jump in there. Don't be afraid. Max out that budget. Keep maxing it each week. Keep looking at those things and mark those things as booked. Okay. Super simple tactic to do. Once you can afford us, give us a call and we will come in and work as your outsourced marketing department and do all of this stuff for you. Okay. So all of these things inside of the 4R roofing marketing machine, this is all of the things that we do for all of our clients on a daily basis. And we do all this stuff. It's systemized. It is a system. and it's a marketing system that works.
Nice. And Chris, we had a Kirk. He asked the question if you can
Oh,
also go back to the QR code too, please,
yeah.
just so you
Yeah.
can scan that for
There's
the
that. I
free
think it was
book.
right here. Yep. Okay. Well, we went over a lot of stuff, went through it really fast. This is kind of a almost a bird's eye overview of how to dominate Google. But if you have any questions, feel free to go to our website, go to our Facebook page, ask us any questions. We're more than willing to help out. All right. Go to roofingsites.com, right, /schedule to schedule a time with me. And we will go through your marketing, assess it, and we'll go from there and build you out a plan. All right. Well, y'all have a great weekend. And if no other questions, we're just going to go ahead and sign off. Y'all have a great day. All right. Thanks. Bye.